Welcome, and thank you for joining us for another one of Mike and Billy's Whiskey Reviews. And today, we bring you the Macallan 18. Staple of the Scotch whiskey industry, and I will have you know that this particular Macallan 18 is the 1993 vintage, which we were lucky enough to snag in 2017.
We shouldn't even tell them what we paid for.
I'm going to tell you. So the Macallan 18, to tell you a little bit about it, and we already dug in.
Dark it is.
Woo, it's dark and it's natural color. The Macallan 18 is the only Macallan, and again, this is the Macallan, that gives you a vintage every year for when it was distilled. For instance, now we would be on the 1998 vintage, so I've had the 97, the 96, and the 95, and I was just lucky enough to run into a 1993 vintage. So we're doing this here in actually April 2nd, Q2 of 2017, and we were lucky enough to find a 93. So I'll tell you a little bit about this whiskey. Macallan Distillery, Speyside.
Can I brag a minute?
Yes. Billy.
He didn't find shit. He found 6 of them.
I'm not telling you where.
6 of them.
Not telling you where.
There was still dust on the box when he brought it to me.
Still dust on the box because it was in a low rent district of Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
And it had been sitting there for 5 or 6 years just waiting for me to walk in the door. Waiting for someone who could appreciate it to walk in the door.
Believe me.
And I walked in the door.
Yes, you did. With authority.
Look at the stain on that cork.
Look at that.
If you can see that. Look at how dark that whiskey is. This is all natural color. This is the Macallan now.
It's going to have a hard time focusing on that.
Yeah, it's a hard focus.
Macallan doesn't color their whiskey.
That is dumb.
I believe they do chill filter it because it is 43% ABV. But this Macallan 18 is an absolute staple of the Scotch whiskey industry. Let's take a look at that all natural color, Bill. This is one of the darkest whiskeys we've had. This whiskey here, maybe the Glendronach 18 is darker, but that is it.
It's like looking through flat Coca-Cola.
Yeah, this would pass off for a cola. A little bit about the Macallan 18. Every year,
Look at the legs on that.
I have read that they match 60% first fill sherry casks with 40% second and third fill sherry casks. Oh, I know, I saw her over here. To put in the batch to make this whiskey. I hear it's made from every batch is made from less than 50 barrels.
Really?
So they have roughly 50 barrels, 60% roughly first fill, 40% second or third fill.
Wow.
And they mix that every year to come up with their current batches. Again, this is the 43% ABV bottle, 43% ABV, 750 ml. This is one of the great, if you are watching our channel, we know you like Scotch whiskey. We know you probably have multiple bottles. You've either have or have definitely heard of the Macallan 18. And there are plenty of reviews out there on this particular whiskey, but we're going to give you ours. First of all,
By the way,
let's go back to the
I
color.
didn't try this yet. Mike has tried this. You had it before. Not
I've had many vintages and this 93 before. This is Billy's first time, and you were such a fan of the rare cask. I am excited for you to try this whiskey for the first time.
It hits your nose like a brick off a highway bridge.
It is a sherried whiskey, hardcore sherried.
I'm talking about just immediately I'm at the fair eating a candy apple.
Woo! It is dark fruits, figs, dates, covered in ginger.
Dark cherries that are almost overripe and smell like mold.
With a light sugar and ginger over everything.
Yep. Candied ginger just...
This is one of my favorite all-time whiskeys. There is not many Macallans that I have not liked. As a matter of fact, there is no Macallan I have not liked.
Dude,
I cannot think of one I have not liked. Like Lagavulin, I have liked every Macallan I have ever tasted in my life.
We do love Lagavulin. Shout out to Lagavulin.
And this is way up there in taste.
Oh, God. Hashtag dibs.
Woo! Look at the legs on this thing. That's an Oloroso sherry. It takes a second, but then they start forming. And then once they form, then they come down.
Yeah.
It's long.
It's forever.
It's not like a Pedro Jimenez sherry.
Yeah.
The difference between sherries, a Pedro Jimenez is a sweeter sherry, where this is a more fruity sherry. And again, if you're watching our videos, I'm not going to bore you with all the reasons why Macallan is fantastic, but just look at the price.
You get what you pay for. I'm diving in. I can't.
Give me one. Give me one. Go ahead. You get your.
I haven't had it.
Liquid gold, my friend. God, it smells so much ginger and fruit on the nose. So many figs and dates.
It's so sweet. Fruity. There for a minute before, when I had it in my mouth, before the air hit my mouth when I swallowed, I almost had like a dark chocolatey thing going on. A little bit of nutty, like a hazelnutty, cashewy. Oh.
Almost like an almond characteristic.
Yes.
Like a young almond. Not a fresh almond. Or what's the green nut?
The green one. Oh, pistachio.
Pistachio. After you break it open.
Non-salted, of course.
Yeah, like a plain pistachio. After you break it open, that nut.
Oh, man.
With a fig and a date and ginger all over top. Like the nuts in the fig.
Oh, yeah. Just stuff it right in there and eat it.
Yeah. Covered it with sugar and a glaze and ginger.
And a little cocoa powder.
A little bit of clove.
Excuse me. That's probably really loud since the mic's right there.
God, that's
I'm
a good
definitely
one.
getting a little clovey.
You know, I have had, like I said, I have had the
That is good.
95 vintage of the 18, the 96, the 97, and the 2016, because it doesn't say 98 on it anymore. It actually says 2016, which does concern me, but we'll talk about that at another time. But I will say this. This is you're lucky this is lucky or maybe not lucky. This is the richest Macallan 18 I have ever tasted, this 1993. And again, it's the oldest one. I've had a 95, I've had a 96, I've had a 97, I've had what would be the 98, which they call the 2016 right here. Instead of the year that it was made, they have the year that it was bottled.
So this is, just for the camera. You picked this up on Friday and you had some Friday evening.
Yes.
Today is now Sunday, so it's only been opened for literally less than
3
48
days.
hours.
Yes. Has it changed? No, not much. It was so. The first taste I had, I was like, "Wow, this is a Macallan 18, but slightly richer." You know, it's like a Macallan 18 with a. If any of you have ever had a Macallan 18 and a Glendronach 18, this would be a good analogy. Take a Macallan 18, add 20% of the extra richness of the Glendronach 18, the over the top sherryness of that, and just dump a little bit more of the over top sherry in this Macallan 18, and that's what it feels like compared to the 97 and the 2016 version of the 18. I will say this: I wasn't always a believer that as these years go on, casks are different and they taste a little bit different. But I will say this: I have a 1996 vintage at home, and I had this 93, and I had my girlfriend pour me a dram of the 93 and the 96, and I smelled them and taste them, and I told her right away, this is the 93, this is the richer one. She was like, you're absolutely right. So I did it again, just for fun, and I guessed it right the second time. Now, granted, I have a 50-50 chance, but it was that drastic to me. Well, drastic's a strong word. It was that noticeable. The difference between the 96 version of the Macallan 18 and this 93 version. This 93 version is richer than the 96.
No, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm kind of mad we never had this before.
And we had the rare cask last week.
Yeah.
Which has been well received, and thank you for the viewers.
Yes.
And I said it's like the Macallan 18 as far as smoothness, a little bit of the 25 and a little bit of the cask strength.
Yep.
The smoothness on this cannot be overstated.
No, it's ridiculous.
It is so smooth. It is so rich. It is so fruity.
So Gio, the chef that has been in a couple of our videos, previous to us filming tonight, you were washing dishes, and
I get dirty.
He just grabbed the bottle, had a little because I wanted him to try it.
What do you think?
He had a sip, talking to somebody on the phone, sip.
God, it lingers.
He's like, meh. I was like, are you paying attention right now? Like, what? He was just being, ridiculous, I think. All right. America, my nose has been runny for the past 3 videos. I'm sorry. Well, and everywhere else in the world, too. Raven is drinking some good old Seagram 7. She could maybe do a review.
Not later.
The review will just be like, I'm drunk.
Seagram 7, it's effective.
I don't love you.
All right, now let's see if this water opened it up at all. Let's swirl it around. I usually like to swirl it that much. I usually like to give it a soft swirl, but for the sake of time, because YouTube limits us to
Whoa.
15 minutes, and I would talk all day long if I could, and do. Oh, more fruit. More fruit on the smell. Good God, that's good. There's a reason why most people can't keep this in stock at roughly $278 a bottle. There's a reason. This is, you go to any nice restaurant, they'll have Macallan 18 is usually like their best whiskey here in Columbus, Ohio. Usually you're going to pay, like, the best place you can find it is Colada. If you're in Columbus, you can find it at Colada for roughly $18 a drink. The fish market has it for around $35.
What's that fancy place up in Easton? Smith and Lewinsky.
I don't know if they have it or not. The best place you can find it, if you go to Wings on Main Street in Columbus, Ohio, he has about 300 bottles of scotch on tap. But he ain't playing with this one, man. He's charging $50 a drink. So it's a good whiskey. It's one whiskey that I have had multiple versions of the Macallan 18. I don't mean to, earlier when I said this is the richest one I had, it's richer, sure, but all of the Macallan 18s that I had have an extremely consistent profile and taste. It's not like one has ever been way off the map.
It sticks right there with you too.
This, yeah, it's a consistent, good product. It's a fantastic product.
Are my ears getting red? Because it's like...
That good? I don't know, maybe.
Hello.
You know what it's time for, Billy? Time for our whiskey score on this one.
Okay.
You know where I'm going with this one?
22.
Out of 100. I am not giving you my biggest score. Today's been a day of records score-wise for us.
Today has been record score. It really has.
So what we're going to do on this one, I'm going to give this a 92 out of 100.
Yep.
The same thing I gave the Balvenie 21-year-old Pulver. It's just a notch below the 21-year-old Fine Oak that we just did here recently. This was a 93.
So good.
This is a 92. But again, $500 bottle, $278 bottle.
Right.
I mean, you pay for it. For that one notch up, you really have to add.
A lot of years.
A lot of times it's, if I give someone an 85 or an 86, it could be about the same thing. Really, if I give someone an 84 or an 87, it's fairly consistent whiskey. Lagavulin 16 is my gold standard of 90. So every increment above that, I really try to make it worth it. But again, I'm giving this a 92 out of 100. It's a fantastic whiskey. Billy?
I'm a 92 push. I'm a 92 push. This is amazing. First of all, we have a fantastic time doing this. And we want you guys to keep watching so we can keep doing it.
Yes.
But in order for that to happen, you must like, you must comment, you must share, you must subscribe.
Please subscribe.
If the glove does not fit, you must subscribe.
But really, we thank you for watching.
I'm sorry, I've had a running nose for the past 3 videos. I'm sorry.
And we also thank you for all the positive comments we've been receiving lately. It's nice to know that our efforts are appreciated. But as always,
it feels good. It feels good when we do something right.
It does. No, it feels good. It's good whiskey. We figured other people would enjoy it.
Yes.
But as always, we want to thank you for joining us for another one of Mike and Billy's Whiskey Reviews. And
let me see if I can do this right. Drink responsibly.
Happy drinking.